Hey everyone, it's Zereldo here, and today I'm doing a special birthday video. For those of you who don't know, on the 19th of May I turned 22 and I'm feeling pretty old. So what am I doing for my 22nd birthday? Well, first I'll actually cover what was done in game. They've brought back the Talk Like a Pirate Day event from 2015 that I wrote, and with it they brought the Platinum Pirate Mage armor. So this is new and available. What I'm going to do is replay the event again, but do it with developer commentary. Since I was the writer behind it, I've got a bit to say about it. And yep. So no, that's not the map. Isn't this pitiful? It's my own event that I wrote and I can't even remember the map names. So there we go, Blazebeard and random numbers. So I'm going in the platinum since it's my birthday, and because if I wear my normal armor, no one will recognize me. So here's Zereldo NPC, here's me. I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to attempt the cutscene readings. Thank you for coming, Zereldo. It's great to meet you in person. A lot of my crew were from Arkengrove and remembered how you stopped the Chaos Lord there. When we heard that the legendary pirate Blazebeard had returned, everyone in my crew suggested that I asked you for help. Oh, now I have to voice act as me twice. It's what I do. Plus, how could I pass up the opportunity to sail around with a real pirate on Talk Like a Pirate Day? If you wanted a genuine pirate experience, you've come to the wrong place. I'm actually a pirate mage these days. Cool. I used to be a battle mage, but you learn to adapt after being shipwrecked and forced to travel between islands while fighting for your life. I've got a bit of a backstory to this, but I'm not really going to go into it. Just while we're in the cutscene and we've got the comparison up here, this is my sort of personal. A lot of you have seen it. I really like it. A lot of people think the red looks better, but there are some people who like the blue and really want it. The gold trim was something I requested specifically. But if you look at the arms here, you'll see a lot of these ribbons that didn't actually make it into the final cut. And that was because on Twitter, a lot of the feedback was people didn't like it having so many of these ribbons. I think there were a couple more on the hat, but that was taken out. It might have been more on the gun. But yeah, so my actual personal armor doesn't have these either. So there's a discrepancy between my actual look and this. So that's a little bit of sort of interesting things that happened. The original Pirate Mage armor looked completely different, was designed by a friend of mine, and was then redesigned by the artist whose in-game name is Goddess. Yeah. Funnily enough, though, I never actually got this blue version of the weapon here and sword. Doesn't actually exist as a item. It's just a recolored NPC file thing, so I don't have those as much as I would like them. Do I still get to sail on a pirate ship? If we do, it won't be on my pirate mage ship. It's not fully grown yet. That line, "it's not fully grown yet," has received a lot of questions, which maybe I will answer one day, maybe I won't. But I do have an answer, and it's staying in my head for now. Fully grown? That raises so many questions that I haven't answered yet. I mean, growing a ship? Actually, what kind of pirate doesn't have a ship? Pirate mage, actually. And trust me, if I had time, I would explain everything about being a pirate mage to you. But for now, we need to focus on Blazebeard, the Dread Pirate of Draconis. He's the reason I call you, after all. That title, Dread Pirate of Draconis, took me too long to come up with. There's a really good story to the name Blazebeard that not even Alina knows. So this is a live reveal, well, not live, but a reveal of a trade secret. I think the only staff member I actually told the secret here was actually Mehmet, if that's even how you pronounce it. I think. What can you tell me about him then? Blazebeard is the most dangerous pirate to ever have sailed Law's seas. If you haven't heard of him, that's not unusual. He's widely known on Draconis as the Dread Pirate of Draconis. Only the most experienced sailors from the other continent have ever heard of him. If his reputation doesn't give you enough reason to worry, then you should also know that he and I have history. Flashback. I remember when I first saw this shot, it was just like, whoa, that's me. I look epic. Years ago, I just finished my studies at the Arkengrown Tower and was leading an expedition to conduct magical research. Now, here's where game development really kicks in. I don't hold any resentment about this, and I'm not upset, but the way I envision this story happening, at this point, Zereldo wouldn't be in Pirate Mage garb, because this is right after he's graduated. He'd just be a normal sort of mage or magic robes. He wouldn't have adopted the sort of pirate aspect of his character yet. But because you have a limited time for each release, you can't just go making all these art assets to endow every detail of your story with every little specific detail you want to see. So for the sake of ease for the animators and the art people, you just have to roll with this. And when you're trying to create a new character, that's the other thing, you want to create an iconic look. And if the first introduction of your character has several different outfits, it's really hard to build a specific image in your mind of what they are like. So there we go. Also, a lot of people said that I looked quite sexy in that outfit and that shot, and I used that shot as a banner for Twitter and stuff for a while. So out of nowhere, Blazebeard appeared and stole some magical supplies from me in a raid on my ship. Well, I want to talk about Blazebeard now, and this is the secret that I've kept from Alina for about half a year now. When I wrote the original script and the original idea, Blazebeard was a villain, obviously, pirate captain, and I could not think of a name. So I just came up with this random name, Blazebeard. Brilliant, it'll work, I love it. No, not really. I was just like, Blazebeard, let's just put it in here and I'll come back and pick a really good name later. I'll pick a good name later. Blazebeard will just be what I use when I refer to him in the draft. And so I finished the draft and I was like, yeah, I'm really happy with this, really happy with this. Handed it in to Alina. And then she said, Blazebeard's a really cool name. And I thought, oh no, I forgot to replace it with a better one. And she said, and it'll be so cool. We'll have like a flaming beard helmet that players can get from the boss, and it'll be great. And it was at that moment I realized that Blazebeard was the name, and it was there to stay. I'm just staring at that beard now, thinking that it nearly never happened. What I do like though, and this wasn't part of my idea, this was once Mehmet got a hold of it, these sort of embers on the dreads. I just love that. I think that's great. Out of nowhere, Blazebeard. I think I read that. Oh well. He sent me and my remaining crew plunging into a storm. I was the only survivor of the shipwreck. That was the last anyone ever heard of him. I assumed he died. There's one thing I've learned in life, people, and that's you can't assume anything. So this isn't how I would have done the mana cannon, but once again, art resources. I have this sort of cool, weird mana cylinder idea that would have been linked onto the top, probably around here, and how that would have worked is it would have contained liquid mana that would have all charged up and given the cannon a huge extra boom. But a glowing cannon with magical cannonballs and just fire for effect, that does the job and gets it across. Plus, when you think about it, it's not so much what the cannon looks like that's important, it's what it can do, and that will be sort of shown to you really quickly. But yeah, what I didn't realize is that he'd been tinkering with my magical research in secret. Are you telling me he has some sort of magical super weapon? Yes, or one of my own design, a mana cannon. It fires out blasts of unstable mana energy, capable of mass destruction. Rumor has it he plans to use it to lay siege on all the coastal cities he can get close to. From there, he'll start a conquest on dry land and take over the world, destroying everyone who stands against him. And we're supposed to stop a weapon like that? He'll blast us with it before we can even get close. No, not if we fire a bigger one at him first. You're kidding, right? Not at all. See, it's bigger in the blueprint. Mana cannon. I can make a bigger, more powerful mana cannon and charge it with elemental power. Trust me, this all makes sense in my head. After I designed the original mana cannon, I discovered a magical metal called elementium. 'tis a metal that conducts and holds charges of elemental energy. All we need to do is modify a mana cannon to handle the load. I think this might be a typo. I'm pretty sure I meant it to be it's a metal, but 'tis sounds piratey, so maybe someone in editing just changed that for me. This is an anomaly. This is interesting. I'm not bothered. Then charge an Elementium cannonball with elemental energy, and we're ready. We'll be firing off artillery-sized spells. A single Elementium cannonball from my elemental mana cannon will be all we need to completely destroy a ship. So this is... yeah, I've made the comparison with artillery, but in a way it's almost like the magical equivalent of a nuke. Not quite, but I like to think of it in those terms. So I just have to help you build the cannon, find a ship, and journey with you in case something goes wrong. That is a catch. Exactly, there might even be some rewards for you on the way. Alright, I'm in. So here's a sort of mana cannon Mark 1, but the version Blazebeard's got. It's just a sort of, yeah, it can sink a ship. Blazebeard's no pushover. You'll notice my cutscenes are very dialogue heavy, because I've got a lot of story to tell. I try and... oh cool, I've got a completed version. So basically, I need it. Oh, no. I start here. So, I put a lot of effort into these quest descriptions. So if you haven't read them, I want to say either your loss or shame on you, but I'm well aware that's how people play the game. What I have done in these quest descriptions, though, and this was something that they don't often do or haven't always done, let me clue you guys in on a bit of a debate. You've got the whole immersion. We want to immerse you in the story, and we want to keep you going, and we want to keep you feeling like you're part of this world. And then there's the sort of direct, just tell us what you have to do. And it's my personal opinion that as much as keeping this sort of immersion in the game world as good as that is, sometimes you just have to be direct. So in my quest descriptions, I've got this line here: head over to /Dwackle and gather as much scrap metal as you can. If they don't give you any willingly, you might have to fight them for it. So the only bit of this that I feel is sort of immersion breaking is the head over to /Dwackle, because when you see that slash, it's very much a game command. But the thing is, I understand the frustration when it's sort of descriptively given to you and you have to try and figure out what map it's in. And actually what that does, if you've got that confusion, it takes you out of the game longer because you've got to open up the wiki or find other players. And so I feel you get a small break from the immersion here, but it lets you continue and it lets you keep your momentum. So if we're going to get this elemental mana cannon functioning, I'm going to have to make a few modifications. Head over to /Dwackle and gather as much scrap metal as you can. If they don't give you any willingly, you might have to fight them for it. Any enemy there will do. While you do that, I'll be heading over to Swordhaven to see if the Royal Navy is intact. Maybe they can lend us a ship. So this was designed sort of with the end of the Chaos Saga in mind. Meaning, Strack had sort of done a number on everything. Okay, this is odd. It seems that since the event was written, they've changed the map file name, so it's actually Crash Site now instead of Dwackle. And so anyone who reads that quest description is going to be incredibly confused. Here I am talking about immersion and being direct. It's ironic. It's sort of funny. I don't know how I figured out that it would be Crash Site, because it's always been something else. I'm pretty sure this music's originally from Dragon Fable as well. The Dragon Fable music's quite distinctive. I'm also going to just add a guess chapter 2. Anyway, that's a diversion. For those of you who don't know, I love Dragon Fable. Did I actually start the quest? So, as you can see, I've gone for the typical sort of resource gathering approach. And there are 5 quests like this that involve you gathering resources. Basically, I always feel that these sort of quests can feel quite random, and so I sat there going, okay, I need to build a modified cannon. What resources am I going to need, and what sort of enemies are going to drop what I need? And to me, it just made sense to come to this place for scrap metal. I can't actually remember everything off the top of my head, but I know that you go to a couple of places in Arkengrove and magical themed areas, and I love magic. I love Arkengrove. Arkengrove is one of my favorite places in the game. And for me, I hate it when we make these areas and we never go back. And I like giving us a reason to just explore. So how I did it was the first 5 or so quests, travel around, introduce people to old places in the game, give you that sense of exploration and actually gathering and building something cool. And yeah, and then from there it's story. You'll notice in the quest description that Zereldo said he was going off to Swordhaven, and so the idea is a lot of people don't like when the NPCs don't feel like they are doing anything, and so the whole idea is, and I'll show you at the end of this quest, but the whole idea is that, sorry, I find it hard to type and talk at the same time. The whole idea is that while you're doing this, Zereldo's actually on a mission of his own. Zereldo's on a mission of his own, trying to actually help out in his own way. And so, while you're making progress, while you're making game progress, he's making narrative progress. So if I go quests here, I've got scrap metal. Good job, that's more than enough metal to start work on the cannon. Sadly, all the Royal Navy ships are ferrying refugees over to the new continent. So there you go, And the other thing is, often you get stories where, well, why don't they just go to this place and get this? Or why don't they go to this place and get this? In my story here, Zereldo goes to those places. And he can't get it because it's not working. And so you get all those sort of potential plot holes actually filled up really well here.